Our first point, running from God is faithless. Running from God is truly faithless today. Jonah here, who had decided, God told him to go to Nineveh, and he went to Tarshish. He questioned God's plan. He was faithless. He thought, oh, I can't do this. God, you told me to go in this direction, and you told me to preach against the evil and the sin that was there, but I just can't do it. I don't have the faith. I am faithless today. I fear for this. But I've got news for you today. God will not send you and not provide the way.
That's true.
God will not leave you by yourself. He will not drop you in the midst of the storm. He will not absolutely tell you and press upon you, speak to you, and lead you in a direction where He will not provide the way. He's faithful. But the doubt and the fear that Jonah had led him to a bad situation. God told him to go, and he decided, well, I just can't do that. In his mind, I think back to how God has told people to do things. God told me one day to walk in a mall and look around. Some people think, you're crazy. God told you that? Yes, He sure did. And I'll never forget, told the story many times when I called the lady up and said, I'm interested in this little section you've got in the mall. She said, what kind of business you going to put in there? And I hesitated for a second because the devil said, here's where you get a big no. Right here's where you're going to absolutely get stopped in your tracks, and I'll prove to you that you're just doing this on your own. And I said, well, ma'am, me and my wife, we looked at this and we're not going to start a business. We want to put a church in there. Silence on the other line. And she said, nobody's ever wanted to have church in the mall. I said, well, they do now. And she said, I'll have to talk to the owner. And I thought, okay, I sure do appreciate it. Will you let me know? I'll call you tomorrow. Now, I could have been a Jonah and thought right then, this ain't going to happen, God. There's no way. I'll just go another direction. I'll head to Corbin. I'll head here. I'll do this. I could have went out on my own, but guess what? That wasn't God's plan. God said to go. Next day, the lady calls back and said, talk to the owner. And he thinks that's a great idea. I was like, okay. Then I thought, here comes the good part. She's going to tell me how much the rent's going to be. And I'm going to go, oh no, what have I stepped out into? And she said, we don't normally do this, but since it's a church and we think it's kind of a good idea, how's $300 a month? I went, excuse me? You sure you don't need to add some zeros on there? She said, no, 300. Can y'all do that? I said, I think so. She said, okay, come by tomorrow and get the key and you can start cleaning it up. If I'd have been a Jonah and I had been faithless and I'd been fearful, I would have went in another direction, and guess what? None of this would have happened.
Yeah, right.
I could have ran from God. You know, I tried running from God one time. I tried my best. I run from the call. I've shared this many times. I didn't want to be a preacher. I was fine singing. I was fine teaching Sunday school. I was fine testifying. I was fine helping in Bible school. I do all that. I was fine leading the choir. I was fine with all that. I just didn't want to preach. Because I had it in my mind. I had a little bit of Jonah in me at that time. And I had it in my mind. I said, my friends don't like me no more. There'll be people run from me. People don't like preachers. You know, I found that out. Some don't. can't do this, Lord. I tried to look for all kinds of, I tried to negotiate with God. Guess what? Anybody ever tried to do that? You don't negotiate with God. You know, I tried to say, hey, Lord, how about I do this? And then he said, no. 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 And there was a time in my life where, you know, seemingly everything was good. My bills were paid. My family was happy. We had a nice home. I had a good job. Things were good. We had a little bit of money. We weren't wealthy. But, you know, we were living the American dream. Things were going good, but I was miserable. Why? Because I was running from God. What God told me to do. When God says go, He means it.
Yes.
He means it. And I thought about that many times. I said, well, Lord, you know, I stepped out. I could have been a Jonah. Jonah here, he was faithless. He went another direction. He decided, you know what, I'll go down here. And I'll get me a ticket and I'll get on this boat and I'll sail far, far away.